What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Soul Sandy sneaker review. My name is Spencer, and today I'm going to be doing the Air Jordan 1 Chicago Low OG. This does release this Saturday, November 15th, for a retail price of $150, I'm pretty sure. I've been seeing some sites saying $145, but let's go $150. So first and foremost, obviously, when you guys think about Chicago 1, we think about the high top, 1985, 2015, 1994, Lost and Found in 2023, things of that nature. However, this is a low. The low has only come out twice ever. This is being one of them, 2016 and 2025. The Chicago Low is not part of the OG collection from 1985. So there was no Chicago Low back then or in the 1995 retro pairs of the Jordan 1s. No Chicagos. The only two lows there was two of the low metallics and then the low natural gray. But there was no low Royal, Chicago, or Shadow, if I'm not mistaken. But these are essentially a 85 Air Jordan 1 Low Chicago because they feature some nods to the original 1985 Low design. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Have any lows that I can compare this to. So unfortunately, guys, these are the only other lows I have on hand to compare these to. These are the Nike SB Desert Ore skate lows. I skated this one pretty heavy. This is my right shoe though, and I skate regular, so this one didn't get much wear, but the other one is cooked, y'all. Like, I couldn't have even brought, that's why I brought out the right shoe, because the left one has a hole through here to here. So this one wears from this Desert Ore to the UNC kind of colorway, and the other one does the same thing but with Royal. These were super cool, and I got my wear out of them. And I got them for retail as well, so super cool shoe. So since the original release of the Air Jordan 1 Low Chicago in 2016, there has been a few different iterations. We got a slip-on in 2019. We've also gotten a recent slip-on for women's last year, 2024 probably. There was a golf version in 2022, and then recently we've seen the kind of buzz around the Air Jordan 1 Chicago cleats that have dropped as well. There's been low and mids as well. And it's not just the Chicagos that dropped in the cleat form. There's been a slew of different sneaker cleats recently. Foamposites, Kobe's, a bunch of different Air Jordan 1s, different colorways and stuff like that. So super cool from Jordan Brand to see some kind of different innovations from them, even though it's still kind of leaning on the retro silhouettes, but definitely super cool to see something different. So let's get into what makes this pair special and why I think that you guys should grab these. So the thing that makes these a little bit different from the other Air Jordan Lows that we've gotten over the years is the much larger swoosh here. It takes up much more of this panel. And we have 8 total eyelets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eyelets instead of the normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eyelets here. I had to make sure I was right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eyelets. So this is a standard modern Air Jordan 1 design, and this is closer to the OG. They wanted them to, this is meant to differentiate the look so you can tell it's a low and not just, like if you have pants on, you can tell that this is a low Air Jordan 1 because of the swoosh design. It's meant to differentiate itself from the high tops, if you couldn't already tell. So these do come with a wider toe box as well than these. Very super buttery materials. Like, I really don't like lows, and I pass on lows all the time, but this is a low that I would consider grabbing myself. Continuing on the materials, you've got full grain leather throughout, summit white on the side panels, tongue, toe box, and midsole, varsity red overlays across the toe, heel, and eye stays, and black accents on the swoosh, laces, collar, and heel wings logo. Under the forefoot, it's classic Jordan 1 tech, a polyurethane foam midsole, and the same outsole traction we've seen since 1985. Nothing fancy, just timeless, a classic, and I can't wait to have these in my collection. as far as fit goes, these are the same as any other Air Jordan. I would say that our wider footers might not have to go up as a half a size like they usually do, because these are wider throughout the toe box. So should have no pinky issues up here on the top left or the top right, depending on what foot we're talking about. So I would say true to size. Usually Air Jordan 1 is a narrow shoe, but this one is a little bit wider. The material is really good, so you should get some break in over time. It doesn't look like these are going to crease very much. I know everybody's always concerned with the tumbledness of the leather, but that's not my main concern. This is pretty good. I know I keep smelling it, but pretty good leather we got here. I'm going to put up a comparison picture as well for what the Swoosh looks like side by side with an actual non-destroyed Air Jordan. It's going to be the Game Royal. Shout out to Wear Testers. Shout out to Chris over there at Wear Testers for this picture. I always go and watch his videos before I do mine, just to make sure I'm kind of in line with the other people in the market and in the field. And he is a trustworthy source, and I appreciate all the information I can get from him. So shout out to Chris. In conclusion, these do drop on November 15th, which is this Saturday, for a retail price of $145 to $150. Do I think you should buy these? Yes. However, this is 2025 here, guys. I don't think these are going to sell out. I think that if you have the money and you don't want to wait and you're going to wear them day one, go ahead at Sneakers or Hibbett, JD, Foot Locker, wherever, and grab these on the first day. Get your wears off. However, for those of us on a budget, I think this is a shoe that you can wait on. I don't think this is something that we're going to see sell out. Unfortunately, this weekend, I think I'm going to see these and the Taxi 12 sitting on the wall, just collecting dust. And that's crazy to say in 2025 that two sneakers like this would be just sitting on the wall, and something like a Air Jordan 11 Rare Air is almost sold out, everywhere. Even the Voodoos are still kind of sitting around in some stores. So my final thoughts are, if you are on a budget like myself, I think you should wait for these to go on sale. I do not think these are going to fly off the shelves. Even the last lows that were high 85 cut, which these are not, but they are, did not sell out very well. They did not do very well. This is a coveted colorway though, but I don't see these selling out. So that's just my thoughts. Definitely don't hold it against me if that's not how it goes, but just my suggestion. I think you should wait unless you want to wear these before they would go on sale. So do your own research and make your own decision. But Soul Sandy says wait. Soul Sandy is about that discount. And finally, there was a Storm Blue retro that was also rumored this year. It was rumored to drop in fall of 2025, but it was supposed to come out before this, so I don't know if we're going to get that this year. I guess it could depend on the success of this release right here, because it does make sense for this to come out before the Storm Blue to kind of test the waters. If this does well, then the Storm Blue could do well, but it will have the larger swoosh and the 8 eye stays, or eyelets, sorry. And the eyelets are a little bit larger. It's kind of hard to tell unless you really have like two shoes next to you, but the eyelets are a little bit larger than in previous designs. So make sure if you grab these, make sure if you want these, you grab them while you can. Like I said, I don't think they're going to sell out or anything like that. So only time will tell. I know what I'll be doing. So let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be grabbing these day one, if you're going to wait for the sale. And let me know if you would have preferred to see the Storm Blue colorway retro in OG form first before these. Also, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel. We really appreciate you guys. Check out our recent podcast with Matt Tomichael, super solid guy. And we have a banger coming up for you this weekend at Sunday at 1 p.m. with TaylorMade GQ. Super solid dude. We've had a slew of good guests recently. And we really appreciate you guys and all the support from all of you. So I will catch you guys out on another video. Peace.